Happy Wednesday, it's Tom from Create Greater Lives, bringing you more new information that you can use to move yourself forward and create your best life possible. Nothing is stopping you when you're using our information, okay? Today I'd like to talk about a real big topic of ours, which is harnessing the power of negative emotions. Very powerful, life-changing information. And today I'd like to talk more about the fundamental principles behind it, so you have a good understanding of it. And then later on in future videos or at our live events or seminars, you'll learn the techniques that'll really, really change your life, okay? How you apply it. I'd like to talk about where negative emotions come from, and then a little bit of the principles behind how we use their energy, okay? So where do negative emotions come from? So within all of us is a unique combination of inner desires. And these inner desires are what we're here to create in the world, the things we're supposed to change in the world, and we're the happiest and most fulfilled when we're working on those. If you're not sure what your true inner desires are, watch yesterday's video, because we went through an exercise that you can use that'll really help you focus in on your negative emotions, okay? In the video section on this page, yesterday's video. So when the reality we're experiencing doesn't line up with those inner desires, it creates tension within us, that gap between what our inner desires are and what we're experiencing. That gap creates tension, okay? And if you're feeling that tension, and I use the word tension, but it manifests itself as a variety of negative emotions, anger, frustration, jealousy, anxiety, fear, doubt, it's all the same thing, we just give it different names in different situations. So it creates that tension within you. And if you're feeling that tension in a situation, and this situation could be a personal situation, your family, your society, your friends, your community, the world. You're here to change the world, okay? There's things that you are supposed to be changing in this world. We're going to teach you how, so you can do that, because we need you to do that, okay? So that tension, the reason you feel it is because inside you know you should and deserve to have more and better. You should and can create more and better. You should and can have the ability to create more and better. And that creates the tension within you. And that tension is helps you point in the right direction, because it's an indication of what you should be changing in the world. And B, that tension's supposed to give you the energy to move yourself forward and create that. Okay, it's not supposed to, it doesn't hold you back, it doesn't block you. It's supposed to be used to move yourself forward and manifest your creations in the world, what you're here to do. And if you've been to our events, if you've taken our courses, if you've watched our videos, if you've read our reports and our writings and blogs and materials, then you know that emotions are just energy, right? And it's the energy we use to fuel our manifestations. And the stronger the emotion, the more power you have, the quicker, faster, bigger, better your manifestation. And we teach how to use the energy of positive emotions and the energy of negative emotions. And often, especially in the beginning, the negative emotions will have way more power than the positive ones, especially in the beginning, because people have been carrying around these negative emotions for years and years and years. So there's a lot of built up energy. And when we release that towards creation of what you want, it can change your life faster than anything else possibly could, okay? So that's why the negative emotions come up in the first place. It's because there's a gap between what you're experiencing and what you should be experiencing. And we can relate that gap, the distance in that gap, to a bow and arrow. And you draw the arrow back. And the further you draw it back, the more energy it has. And when you release it, the further back you've drawn it, the faster and further the arrow will fly, right? If it's just pulled back a little bit, it's not going to go very far. If you pull it back all the way, it's going to go far and fast. And that is the energy flying towards your manifestation to fuel your creation, okay? So when some people feel the negative emotions, what they've been taught to do is ignore, pretend they're not feeling bad, suppress the negative emotion, act happy when they're not, act excited when they're not, or distract themselves from it. Just think about other happy things and ignore this situation that's causing you the negative emotions. And if we go back to the bow and arrow analogy, that's like drawing back the arrow and just holding it and holding it and holding it and holding it, because the energy's still there. It's not going anywhere, right? It's just suppressed. And the arrow won't move either. The arrow is stuck in place. And it's the same thing with us. When we hold the energy inside and suppress it and pretend it's not there, it keeps us stuck in place, and we don't move forward, we don't progress, we don't create what we want to create in our lives. And this is why everybody thinks negative emotions hold you back. No, it's not negative emotions, and suppressing them that holds you back, okay? Big difference. Big, huge difference. So now some other people are taught more of a Buddhist tradition, and that is just accept the negative emotion, release it, let it go, which is great because you don't feel the negative emotion anymore, but it's kind of a different path than the one we teach. You know, I know Buddhists, love Buddhism, studied Buddhism. I'm not a practicing Buddhist, but Buddhism is about spiritual evolution. If you're feeling something bad, it's an indication of something in you that needs to evolve and become better, and so you work on that and you get rid of the negative emotion, and that's your spiritual evolution, which is great. Nothing wrong with that, right? If that's what you're doing, fabulous. But for our purposes, we want to move forward and create in the world what we're here to create. So if we go back to the bow and arrow analogy again, you've got all that tension from the negative emotion, and then you just kind of let it dissipate, and it's just like releasing the bow and arrow, which is great because you don't feel bad anymore. You don't have that tension. You don't have those negative emotions. But once again, the arrow is not going anywhere because the energy is all gone, right? So you're not moving forward. You're not creating. And some people have been taught that if you eliminate a negative emotion about something, then you'll get the inflow of the opposite. And that's not the case at all, right? If you are feeling bad about creating wealth, okay, and you dissipate that negative emotion, get rid of it, that doesn't mean you're going to get wealthy. That just means you're no longer feeling bad about getting wealthy. You still have to go out and manifest and create wealth. Those are two different things. Dissipating the negative emotion and creation are two totally different things, okay? Another way people handle negative emotions is they pull back the bow as far as they can and they just fire it off in an uncontrolled manner and release the emotion. And usually it's in a destructive manner. So they hurt themselves, they hurt other people, they damage things around them. It's destructive, right? It's uncontrolled and destructive, which is obviously not the best thing to do. Now what we do, so you got that bow and arrow drawn back, all that energy saved up in it, and we focus it directly at our goal, directly at what we want to manifest, and we release all that energy in a controlled, positive stream directly to our manifestation, and it's fuel for the manifestation. We're using it in a creative act. We're using it productively. We're using it in an act of creation. Not an act of destruction, an act of creation. And not only does that release the negative energy from you and you feel fabulous afterwards, but all of that energy is used productively to manifest what you want in your life and create what you want in your life. And this is vastly different than anything anyone else is teaching in the law of attraction. Vastly different. And this is why negative emotions don't hold us back, because we use them the way we're supposed to. They're supposed to give you the energy to move you forward and create what you want in your life. They do not hold you back. Just keeping them in and suppressing them holds you back. And too many people are taught to do exactly that, and then they get stuck in place, and that creates more negative emotions, and they keep them in, and they're stuck in place, and they don't know why, so they go through all these things to fix themselves, so they're not feeling these negative emotions, but they're not getting their goals, so they're feeling negative. It's a vicious cycle, because they haven't been taught properly, okay? So you're on our Facebook page. There's a video section there. Go back and watch all the past videos. There's amazing information there that will help you change your life, okay? We're also, if you're on this page, like the page, follow the page. We have a new video coming out every single day, okay? So you wanna know when I'm live and when the video is posted so you get the most recent information. We're also online at creategreaterlives.com, okay? There should be a link somewhere on this page. I'm not sure where it is. So creategreaterlives.com, there's even more free information for you there. You can videos and blogs, and you can download our 4 top most popular reports on the law of attraction and manifestation. Again, it's information you won't find anywhere else that can change your life. Okay, we'll empower you to change your life. The information doesn't do it alone, you have to do it. So my name's Tom. I'll be back tomorrow with more information for you. Until then, remain at choice.